The sudden reappearance of a man missing for 3 months raises more questions about his disappearance. Coast Guard rescuer Russell Matthews left his longtime job and his new wife last year, but now has returned. KITV4's Paul Drews has more on this missing man mystery in tonight's top story.
Russell Matthews was a rescue swimmer with the Coast Guard, someone who jumped into action when help was needed.
He is an individual that is really dedicated to the Coast Guard. He does search and rescue as a living for the Coast Guard. That's certainly the position that he has put himself in through over the past 17 years.
So when Matthews went missing himself last October, Coast Guard crews and helicopters and ships, along with other rescue agencies, spent 3 days searching the waters off Ka'ena Point and combed the coastline, where Matthews' abandoned car was found. Police were concerned. Matthews was distraught when he disappeared. He was also under investigation by the Coast Guard for possible marijuana use. His disappearance came nearly 1 year after his wife Clara died of a gunshot wound to the head, which the medical examiner ruled a suicide, but felt a contributing factor was a traumatic brain injury Clara had received in a bicycling accident on Oahu's North Shore in 2009. A car slammed head-on into Clara as she rode, towing her 2 young children behind.
I heard a car kind of go screeching, and I heard a bunch of metal, and I heard a bunch of people screaming, and I ran out, and there was, a lady laying on the ground in a little bike buggy about 50 feet away from her.
Nearly a year after Clara's death, Matthews' new wife reported him missing. Then 3 months later, he suddenly turned up at his home, incoherent, according to police.
At that time, the Honolulu Police Department took him to Castle Hospital for observation.
Matthews was then transferred to Tripler Hospital and is undergoing a medical evaluation there. But he hasn't told the Coast Guard why he disappeared and where he's been all this time, making this a most unusual missing persons case.
In 28 years of Coast Guard service, I've never heard of a case like this.
Now, the Coast Guard said they're waiting for Matthews to get the help that he needs. But as more details unfold, the petty officer, who's now back on active duty, could face charges for his disappearance. Meanwhile, family members tell us Matthews' children have been in the care of Clara's family on the mainland since his disappearance. Kenny?